Hi guys, it's Marissa from What Isn't Art, and I'm here with the answers to the 5 Truths and 5 Myths video. I will preface this with I made a mistake. When I wrote out my list, I just wrote keywords so that I could try to remember what to say without having to read it right off my paper. And I accidentally put in 6 myths instead of 5. One of them was supposed to be a truth, but I said it in the way that made it a myth. So I'm sorry for that, but maybe you caught it. We'll see. So, number 1, yes, I was homeschooled. Almost my whole life, I was homeschooled. I graduated homeschooled, and my siblings were also homeschooled. So here's the one that got mixed up. I was supposed to say that I do not like baking, and it would have been a fact. Instead, I said that I love baking. I really don't. I'll bake if I'm thinking of a cookie or a brownie or something that I'm just really wanting to eat. Then I'll bake, but it's not my favorite. I like cooking more. I like the ability to play around and experiment with flavors and textures without needing so much science involved that you get with baking. So, I don't enjoy baking. I did not go to college for art. So the third one is a myth. I never went to college for art. I've never gone to any school for art. As a homeschooler, my mom allowed us to just kind of get interested in anything, that anything that caught our interest we could try. And she allowed me from a very, very young age to get involved in art. She taught me crocheting, sewing, cooking, singing. She likes to draw and do some of those things. She really likes to doodle a lot. But when she saw me wanting to do more, she would give me challenges. The primary colors only for paint. My whole childhood, it was only primary colors, so I had to learn how to mix them. And if I wanted to paint on something like a rock, I had to trace it out on a piece of paper a couple of different times and design what I was going to paint before I painted it. So no, I did not go to study art, but I love art. I've had the chance to work with other artists. I've had the chance to experiment and just enjoy it. I have been to college, but I went to a Bible college and seminary, not an art college. So that one was a myth. Number 4 is a fact. One of my brothers got married last year, and I was in the wedding, and they gave me the option to make my own dress, which I did, and I had so much fun with, and it came out great. It really fit my personality. Best of all, it had pockets. So, and I actually had someone say to me at the wedding, "You made that, didn't you?" To which, of course, I said yes. "How did you know?" "It has pockets." That's how he knew, because I had pockets in my dress, and it was so fun to make. I got to go shopping with my sister-in-law to find the fabric, and it was just fun. So that's a fact. I did make a bridesmaid's dress. Here's a really fun one. Number 5, it is a myth. People don't believe me that it's a myth. My whole life, I've always been accused of being a twin. My brother, who's next in line under me, when we were younger, we were close enough in age that we visually looked like twins, so people have always, when we were younger, always thought we were twins. And as an adult, people think my sister and I are twins because of our birthday. She was born on my 4th birthday, so we're not twins, but we share a birthday, which is kind of hard to understand sometimes, that we share a birthday without being twins. So I'm not a twin, no matter what people think. Number 6 is also a myth. Melanie and I are not high school friends, believe it or not. I actually met her when they first moved into town, and her son was a little kid. I was a preteen at the time, and they started going to our church, and we got the chance to meet them and get to know them. And she was my Sunday school teacher, which was really fun. And we have just, over the years, our families have built a really, really special relationship, and we consider them family. So, no, we're not high school friends, but I have enjoyed knowing them for pretty close to 20 years now, which is fun. So, number 7, which, according to my paper over here, which I hope I got right, is a myth. I don't like the color red. I like a lot of colors, but for some reason, not the color red. I like it on a fire truck, or an apple, or things like that, that just, they're supposed to be red. It just looks right in red. But it's not really my favorite color. It's not the first thing I reach for. In fact, it's probably the last thing I reach for. I have 2 red sweaters. One of them is the Christmas sweater that I made this year, and the other one is for when you need a red sweater, for holidays and stuff. So red is not the color I reach for. It's not my favorite. In fact, my favorite color on the opposite side of things would be like a really soft, calm mint green. That's my favorite color. Number 8. I don't like finding new patterns. It is a myth that I like finding them. I like to get creative again. There's different versions of creativity, and for me, creativity means learning a technique and then designing it myself. So I have designed clothing, patterns and all. I do crocheting, and I learn a stitch, learn a technique, and then I go from there. I really don't enjoy patterns. Even to the point in the kitchen, I cook without a recipe, which is probably why I don't enjoy baking as much. It's too much of a pattern. But no, I don't like finding new patterns. I like seeing the pictures, and I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. That would be really fun. But I never make it from a pattern. It's just not my thing. I have made a few things from patterns. I used to make American Girl doll clothes at my grandmother's. That was fun. But that's really small, and I had done no clothes at all before. So that was about the extent of my patterns. Here's a fact that might surprise some people. So the very first one was that I was homeschooled. Number 9 is that I went to private school. I did for 2.5 years. In high school, I went to a private school about an hour from my house. So it's part of the reason it didn't last super, super long, but an opportunity opened up for me and my siblings to go to this Christian school, and so, yeah, I went to a private school for 2.5 years, and I learned some things there that I wouldn't have gotten at home, simply because there's people trained to teach some of those things. Math, not my favorite. And I had a really good math teacher, which was awesome, and the chance to just experience new things. But I was both homeschooled and I went to a private school. And now I work at a private school, which is fun. So, all kinds of experiences. And the last one, number 10, is that my favorite art supply is 50 cents. And absolutely, that is a fact. My absolute favorite art supply is the apple barrel paints from Walmart. I mean, you can get them other places too, but they're like 50 cents at Walmart. And when Mom would only let me have primary colors of paint, which was fine, and it taught me how to mix colors, when I finally had the money as a teenager to head to Walmart and pick up whatever colors I wanted, that was what I got. And I have just loved the variety of color, the brightness that you can get from some of them. And it's just so fun. I don't feel as scared to use some of them as I do the more expensive paints. I have some more expensive paints, but I'm almost scared to use them at times. And the 50-cent ones, it's like, whatever. It's 50 cents. If I make a mistake, I'll just go get another bottle for 50 cents. So those are my favorites. I really, really enjoy using them. And because I'm using something different from other people, it makes my art different. It makes my art a little bit more unique, which is fun too. Well, I had so much fun doing this. Let me know how you did, and maybe tell me something interesting about yourself. Bye!